Hello and welcome back. If you're new, I'm Deirdre, and today I'm going to keep on doing some more of my, it's not really decluttering, it's sort of like downsizing in my kitchen. Specifically, I am going to get rid of tea and coffee mugs that are surplus. And I know that anyone who knows me is going to go, oh my god, really? But yeah, really? But I wanted to talk about this whole process of downsizing just a little bit more because it's terribly popular at the moment to declutter, downsize, whatever we want to call it. And then to somehow feel that we've done something useful when it leaves the building. And hey, I'm right up there. I feel so good when things leave my home. I know. It's that wonderful, oh, I've really achieved something and it's going off to be useful. And I try really hard to make sure that the things that do leave are being used, and I give them to a donation centre and people come and buy them and it makes a bit of money for charity and all of those sorts of things. So I know that it's useful. But then there's the whole problem of too much stuff. And we're living in a world with too much stuff. What we're actually doing, no matter what we do, is we're burning resources. And there's a limited amount of everything on our planet. Absolutely everything. I grew up in an era of abundance. Not necessarily financial wealth, but abundance. That everything was something that would go on forever. And it's not. So do we want to have a concept as a community that we burn stuff, whether we burn it by using it, by burning it physically, by using it up for making clothes and for all of the other things we just buy and are used to buying, it's a real problem. And I look at my home and the things that are in it and I think, I wonder how much of this is actually able to be recycled. Like if I change my television, how much of that will actually just be waste and never be able to be recycled and will end up in a landfill? Or when you change your refrigerator, all of these things have a huge sort of cost for the future. And I know a lot of people have been talking about this for a very long time. I'm really late to the party. So for me, I'm now in a position of wanting to have things out of my apartment and just thinking, yes, but I'm handing on the problem. Of course, what I'm really doing is sort of nest cleaning before I leave for my holiday in Africa, and I like to leave everything spick and span and nice and clean so that when I come back, or if anybody needs to use the apartment while I'm away or whatever, that I've left it in an excellent condition. So today it's back into the kitchen, and this is all part of downsizing. It goes on, and things that you thought that maybe you would use and need, it turns out you don't, or I'm not. And so for what works for me is that I'm now going to have a bit of a shuffle. Some things are going to leave, and hopefully somebody else is going to find them useful, because I really hate to think that they just become junk. Anyway, onwards into the kitchen and let's get this done. So it's a bit of a grey day, but turn some lights on. Always helps, doesn't it? So I'm going to do this. This is my sort of tea, coffee cup place, teas, etc. Yeah, I know. This is the point. I love my Nespresso, and obviously with Nespressos comes coffee capsules. And on this whole recycling thing, I've started doing this. I empty the container from the coffee machine into a plastic bag, pop it in my freezer until I've filled it up, and then I take it off to Nespresso, and they guarantee to recycle the aluminium and to use the coffee grinds for compost, I think. And these cups are one of the reasons that I really need to change over my drawers to make these fit just nicely down here. Wish me luck. I'm going to take everything out, give it a quick wipe down, and then reshuffle and shed. I do not need this many glasses.
Sweet rain and honest truth is what I get from you. No matter how hard I get the blues, you keep me steady, yet lose. When we in deciding games, and we don't.
So far, this is working. There's a little gap back in here. I've got the saucers for these cups here, and I've got a nice little coffee cup that I use just for me, my little jug, and that is a sugar bowl that of course very rarely gets used these days, but it's there just in case. Up here I've kept this because even though I'm not using it, it's not doing anyone any harm, and it doesn't have to now go and find a new home or be recycled. Down here I've got my lovely T2 cup that I use for, you know, some of my nice teas. By the way, David's tea, I am a convert, but we can't buy it in Australia, so if anybody loves me in Canada, yeah, I just love some David's turmeric gold. It's turmeric glow. It's beautiful. It was given by a friend, but yes, very nice. Down here I've got my chai that I love, and that little pot I use for chai, and sometimes I use my llama. And this is, it was a special one from T2 called, as you can see, Rose Rhubarb, which I just wish I could let you smell that because it is so fragrant. It's beautiful. Little teapot. Some tea bag boxes, but I transfer them into a glass because that's my ordinary English breakfast tea that I use there. And a nice turmeric latte. Okay, so I have some space, but that is the space that these came out of. Okay, now what am I going to do? I have my really cute H&M cup that I just love and I use all the time. But I don't put it in the dishwasher because it's got gold on it, so I have to wash that. And then this is a gorgeous little set from, what's it, Deirdre in Italy. I got many years ago on holiday, and I love, but because it's been sitting right up the top, I don't use it. They are so nice just for an espresso. Maybe I could put them over on the other shelf, that of course, over here, which means, right, use these bowls all the time. Not using my glasses very often, but when I do want to, they're just there. Champagne glasses are rarely used these days, and I want them up high. I can get rid of some of those things. Those platters can go, and I might adjust the shelving so it's a bit different. But anyway, I could put my little Italian espresso set in here. And, well, it's a bit hard to see because it's white, glass on white, but that's really tidy at the moment, and there's a gap there. And there's a place here to put those little coffee cups. Before I put these up, I wanted to show you something. Now, when I finished university and got my first job in a corporate role, I was working across the road from just a little, you know, homewares gift shop, okay? And with my first real big person job, I bought these because I just thought they were too cute. They're like little walnut halves, and they're just lovely little glass bowls, only pressed. There's nothing special about them, but there's a big one and there are 6 little ones, and they have been with me now for, I don't want to admit how long, but let's just say a long time. And yes, they do get used. They are lovely for ice cream, for fruits and salads, for the Christmas special called Crunchy Snow, and I'm delighted that I still have those. That makes me happy. By the way, the list making has happened. This is me going away on holiday. I've started making lists. There's tomorrow's dinner. Yes, I'm having soup for dinner tomorrow night. Oh, there we go. Just pop those in there. That's easy, I can reach everything. And these little cheerful people went in here. I have ended up with a gap up here, and once again I've kept this, the French press, because hey, who knows? And I'm really pleased with this. I mean, it looks sort of busy and like I could never use, but it's, you know, they're the only glasses I use. Now, the thing is, you see, I'm fussy. I use a specific, goodness, use me words, Deirdre, cups for coffee. These ones are really nice for English breakfast tea. These are nice for herbal teas or anything else I'm using, or just because. And because everything ends up in the dishwasher, it doesn't take a lot to empty this out, and I don't want to have to run the dishwasher more frequently than I need to. I like to wait till it's a bit full. And for the sake of completeness, I will show you the bottom, which is fine, it just works. I am getting rid of all of that. Well, I mean, that's rubbish, but right. But it was taking up space. These are nice, but I don't need them. I have others, and that's not a requirement for me. And yeah, everything else, one of these will be, I think, really does deserve to go out because of that little mark. I can't get that clean, that's a bit nasty. Then all the rest can just leave the building. So there we are, that's done. And yeah, it's actually quite good. I got rid of more than I thought I was going to, and organised it a little better than I thought it was going to work. God, look at me, I'm going to blend into the background in a minute. Anyway, yeah, so apart from my little moment at the beginning about not knowing what is the right thing to do with the things that I have that are left over from being a big family and are no longer needed in, you know, anything like the same quantities, or frankly as frequently. But the frequency doesn't worry me so much because, you know, look, I could live with, you know, one plate, one bowl, one spoon, one fork, one knife, you know, if I needed to. However, I don't need to, and I have great storage, and I already have these things, so it's not like I'm going out and buying them. And some of them bring me pleasure more than practicality, and that's fine too, because once again, as I say, I have the space. There's no urgent pressure on me to fit into a smaller space, and because of that I can keep them. Do I keep less than some and more than most? Absolutely. But that's because we're different. We're all different, and that wonderful human mosaic that we are is just the way we are. So I think it's all about learning what's right for you and figuring it out as you go along. And I hope that my sort of stumbling efforts of figuring it out are of some use, some inspiration, some motivation, or even just a source of discussion. I think it's starting to think about it and talking about it is often the best place to start, is to really figure out what it is that you want and use and love. And hey, you may want to take off in an Airstream and live, you know, the RV life, and I can't say I blame you. I think it looks wonderful. But I don't, and for now that's good as well. Things are moving out, finding new homes. They're useful things, I hope, and in good condition, and the ones that are in good condition, aren't in good condition rather, I just let go. Right now I'm going to give myself some lunch. It's about 3 o'clock, and I have some soup here waiting for me, and which I made the other day with my own stock, of course, and lots and lots and lots of veggies, so I'm about to have that. And I hope that if you enjoy sort of exploring this whole concept of downsizing, that you'll come along for the journey, and for the journey that's coming up to Africa, and that you'll subscribe and wave out and give me a hello, you know, leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.